Hi everybody, Vegas Film Critic here, Jeffrey K. Howard. I'm finally getting around to my Star Wars The Force Awakens review. I wanted to see it a couple times. There was a lot to digest, there was a lot to think over, and I wanted to make sure that I was ready to tell you what I thought about the movie. I have family and friends and people on YouTube and everyone just saying, hey, where's your review? You know, I was one of those critics, one of the lucky critics to see Star Wars on the Tuesday of the week it opened. So not only did I see it Tuesday, but Thursday, but I saw it a good 2 or 3 days before, you know, anyone else did. And you would not believe the email I got from Disney about it couldn't promote it on social media. I couldn't tell anybody. And it was, some people didn't go, not some press. It was from the studio. Disney sent down exactly who was going. So I couldn't tell another, reporter or someone, hey, there's a Star Wars screening Tuesday morning at 11 o'clock over at Town Square. No, I can say it now. I just couldn't do that. So and it was fun keeping it a secret. But then some people were blabbing, and I was like, I don't know. Maybe it was just too much. Here it is a week later, and, it's Christmas Eve, actually. And I just have Star Wars fatigue. I mean, with all the tie-ins, all the commercials, the cars, the fast food, the whatever, it's just such overload right now once this movie came out. But anyway, I'm not here to complain about that. I'm here to talk about Star Wars The Force Awakens. And a little quick background on me, how Star Wars changed my life. 11 years old, summer of 1977. I saw the movie literally over 100 times. My parents just forbid me to see the movie, and I would walk 5 miles to go see it in the hot Vegas sun that July. And so I have a real special attachment to it. George Lucas changed my life as a child. Empire Strikes Back. I saw the promotional screening for, it was not promotional, it was a benefit screening, and with my best friend at the time, Carl Anderl, he got these special tickets and went to the Cancer Foundation. And I'll never forget that, we're watching the movie, we're in the very front row, because we're 13, and we're watching it, and the part where he's like putting Han Solo in the carbonite, and Lando says, if you put him in there, it might kill him. And he goes, I don't want our special package or our cargo damaged, or we'll test it first on Captain Solo. And the film breaks. I was like, ah! And then for Return of the Jedi, I got permission. I was a junior in high school, and I got permission for one of my final exams. The teacher let me go camp out to see Jedi. I was the fourth person in line in Las Vegas back then, the Cinedome 12 over there on Decatur. I saw Return of the Jedi. So I just have a complete, Star Wars fanaticism, and I'm not crazy like a lot of these people on YouTube and around the internet. Jeez, I don't consider religion, but it's a big part of my life. And we won't even talk about the other 3 films. George Lucas, I respect you, but you really made me angry with those movies, with all that political crap, and it wasn't Star Wars. And what you're doing with revisionist crap with, Raiders of the Lost Ark and redoing all the Star Wars films. So, I've been collecting, home videos. So I have the Laserdiscs, I have almost every version you think of, but I don't want to own those special editions. I think I do own that Blu-ray box set, but, I will never watch those. So anyway, now I gave you that little background. You probably already fast-forwarded through all that. Let's talk about Star Wars, The Force Awakens. I've been going crazy. Getting all the people have been giving me gifts. There's a little throw I haven't opened yet. Did I block my voice? Also, action figures. You look behind me. I have the Finn action figure when the trailer came out back months ago. And so let's just give you my initial reaction. It was fantastic. J.J. Abrams was just, I had total confidence in him because I'm also a huge Star Trek fan. And what happened with Star Trek the last couple of films, it's just been awful. He rebooted Star Trek. He took those characters and gave the essence of what Captain Kirk and McCoy and the origin of all of those without doing impressions or carbon copies of them or they made them their own, but they still kept the essence of what those characters were and gave it for a whole new generation and renewed my faith in Star Trek and just in storytelling and about science fiction, all of that. So I knew we were in good hands with J.J. Abrams. And what he essentially did was reboot the first Star Wars. And we have Daisy Ridley, who plays Rey, is essentially Luke Skywalker. We're rebooting the very first film. When I say Star Wars, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to say A New Hope. I'm not going to say Episode 4. No, Star Wars. Okay, we know what we're talking about. Empire, Jedi. Just say the word, okay? Do not do these long introductions of what the titles are. It's all marketing. So anyway, it's essentially rebooting Star Wars, and what's wrong with that? People are saying, well, reading other critics, well, why couldn't they go in a new direction, and J.J. Abrams could have done it? That'll come, but it's good just to lay the foundation again. If they can make Spider-Man 4 times and keep really telling the origin story, we can do that with Star Wars. It's been 30 years, so, it looks like Tatooine, but it's Jakku. I mean, there's just so many similarities with the first film, but then there's a lot of similarities that are not. And I think one of the most exciting characters is John Boyega, who plays Finn. The Empire, from what I gather, I could be wrong. I'm not one of these people that follow every detail, but it's an offshoot of the Empire called the First Order. So I don't know if they're disgruntled or they are more evil. And we have a stormtrooper I think they're genetically manufactured, and they're stormtroopers their whole life. I don't know if they recruit people or something. I wasn't clear on that, but Finn didn't want to be a stormtrooper. So his very first mission, he's got to kill these villagers on Jakku, and he chickens out. He runs away. And I thought, whoa, what a great perspective. A stormtrooper ends up joining the rebellion, because he doesn't want to kill. He's a stormtrooper, someone from the Empire who's got morality, who's got, scruples. And so I thought, what a great character. And not only that, John Boyega is fantastic. And I don't understand, sci-fi people are the most open-minded people in the world. So where was all that racism coming from when they cast him? He took off the stormtrooper helmet in the teaser, and people were freaked out it was a black man. Jesus, it's the 21st century, people. I thought he was fantastic, So we get these new characters. Who else I want to make sure I don't forget? Okay, yeah, we talked about her. Domhnall Gleeson, who plays a general. He's in The Revenant too, man. He's just all over the place. And I was really concerned with Kylo Ren, because I'm always, I'm a Darth Vader fan. I have the Darth Vader mask. I'll show you in a second. I have the original from 1977, signed by David Prowse. Well, hell, I'll show you right now. Don't drop it. Anyway, I got this in 1977 for Christmas. It says Don Post Studios inside. So this is the original. So I've had this a long time. And look, David Prowse I met signed that for me. Isn't that cool? I'm sorry, I'm all over the place with this. There's so much to talk about and so much to show you and so much to do. So anyway, I was really concerned with Kylo Ren because I really love the villains in Star Wars. Darth Vader was my idol, as you say. And but you know what? I didn't like the mask at first, and then when we started talking, I thought, oh my gosh, he sounds like he's talking through a drive-thru at a fast food place. But after about 15 minutes, that was all gone. He was fantastic. Not only that, the mask came off, and there's a human being underneath there, so it was just really cool. I think Adam Driver was phenomenal. Amy's just really hardcore evil. And I think if people are asking me, well, what's your favorite character? I think my favorite character is, where is it? I have action figures everywhere. Check this out. Here's my little snow trooper. I love Empire Strikes Back. Who doesn't? The Hoth. I'll never forget my mom. I took my mom to see that. We were vacationing in Colorado to see relatives, and I said, Mom, you got to come see Empire Strikes Back. And we're sitting there. She's from the Depression era. She's in her 80s now. And we were watching it, and that opening scene with the Tauntaun, she just leans over to me and goes, well, what kind of animal is that? I go, that's a Tauntaun, Mom. And she's like, I've never seen an animal like that. I thought I was going to die. I mean, she's just so innocent. I would take her to see aliens and give her nightmares. I love it. Anyway, my favorite characters. Oh, here it is. I just love Captain Phasma, Gwendolyn Christie, from Game of Thrones, which I can't get into. But I just love the way this Stormtrooper looks. And that's another thing I love that J.J. Abrams did, is there's girl power in this movie. There's interracial stuff, between Finn and Rey. It's just so progressive, and I love that. It's like he wants to make a film that represents what audiences are today, which is mixed, which is progressive, and I thought that was just brilliant to include all of that. There's something for everybody in this movie. Concerning some of the storylines, I love how the First Order is extremely fascist. I know they're evil, and that could be almost like a Spaceballs kind of parody about how evil they dress that way and they shoot people. But we're talking about there's a real these stormtroopers. I always consider them like Keystone Cops, kind of comical, but they had their job to do. But man, they were killing people. I mean, it was dark, it was heavy, and I thought, wow, what a really interesting way to show the Empire. It brings a dose of reality. It really does. And also, what's really cool is that the use of special effects. He was determined not to green screen the hell out of it like Lucas did with the last three. And we saw an actual Millennium Falcon. We saw actual people in makeup. And real explosions. And it's all up there. It just recaptures what it was 30 plus years ago. And I was just like, I felt like I was a kid again. I really did. And I was just so proud of J.J. Abrams for not only just giving these new characters I love passing the baton, passing the torch to the next generation with these films. Just like with Harry Potter, the kids have their own films and their own identity. Mine were the original ones back in the 70s and 80s. And I'm totally happy with what he did because we have our own characters in there. Harrison Ford is back, as Han Solo, Carrie Fisher, Anthony Daniels, C-3PO, and R2-D2. And they're there for me to they're not oversaturated in the movie, except Harrison Ford. You need Han Solo, trust me, there's no spoilers, I said it at the beginning. Harrison Ford, you needed Han Solo through this entire film. And that was my connection, to the film and while being introduced to these new characters. And what happens with all these characters, and especially, they say, what about Mark Hamill? And I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but everybody is there for a reason. And I think the best is yet to come. had to mention Oscar Isaac. A lot of people have been coming up to me and saying Poe is their favorite, and my roommate even has his action figure. I should have brought it in here. I stole it. And maybe his best is yet to come, because I just really didn't understand, the beginning of the film. Yeah, he was kind of like he was almost like a new kind of Han Solo, but I just, I didn't have any connection to him yet. So maybe, coming up, I will have a connection to him. But you still got to win me over, Oscar. You got to still win me over. The music, I didn't understand. I've seen it a couple times now, and I'm a huge fan of the music. Who isn't? But I just didn't notice anything distinctive. Where was Yoda's theme? Where was, Leia's theme? We heard some of the classic stuff, but I need to get the soundtrack and see. I just don't recall anything specific coming out of it. Even the music complemented everything, and it was John Williams, and it was Star Wars, but I just didn't come away going, oh, there's a specific theme that stuck in my head that I didn't hear before. Probably one of the funniest things is a lot of movie stars and fans got cameos in the movie, or provided voices, to some of the creatures or something, like Kevin Smith did. Daniel Craig is a stormtrooper. Simon Pegg is a stormtrooper. They don't take off their mask, but you just know they're inside there. So I thought that was really cool of J.J. Abrams to do that. And plus, there's all kinds of charity things going on with what's it called, Ozma? Where you could they help all kinds of great causes. And Mark Hamill's doing the London premiere. He went to see the kids in the London hospital, and also the guy that had cancer, that was dying, and they did the special screening for him at home, and he died the next day. J.J. Abrams is just amazing. He really is. There's so much great. Not only the movie was a lot of fun and just special, but also everything that went along with it, the making of the film and how it touched a lot of people, and it's how it brought everybody together. And, it's just, I'm so happy that not only has it been rebooted, but it was really good, and the best is just yet to come. I know there's a lot more coming up. Tell you, I go to Walmart all the time, and look, I found this at the dollar store. I was just in there with a friend. Look at it here, Captain Phasma. There's these cups. So we have so many of these different cups around the house. We must have 25, all the different characters. So another thing I wanted to mention was the screenplay. Lawrence Kasdan, who's just fantastic. Silverado and the Big Chill, and he did The Empire Strikes Back. He really captured these characters. You could just see the dialogue was so good. I always wondered what George Lucas really thought of it, And Disney, it's already made, close to $1 billion. They paid $4 billion for it. There's a new theme park coming on in addition to Disneyland for Star Wars. So it is just Star Wars fever everywhere. And I know this is a really long review, but I'm going to probably do one with spoilers because people are asking me for that. But I'd like the movie just to be on your own, but I might just do that. So anyway, Star Wars is phenomenal. It's not the best movie in the world. People are going, oh, it's in your top 10 list? No, it's not my top 10 list. It was more of an emotional connection for me. Was it proper storytelling? Was the effects great? Did it recapture what I had as a child? It did all of that. And I know that it's a reboot, and I know that they're doing other films where these characters will take us somewhere completely different, and Disney's already working on that. Trust me, they're not going to risk their investment and alienate fans. So I think the next Star Wars convention is going to be really cool because it's just so much fun. It really is. So I know this is a long review. Gosh, it's like 14 minutes here. So anyway, Star Wars The Force Awakens. I'm probably going to see it one more time because I want to see it in 70mm. I want to see it the IMAX because he shot a lot of the effects and some of the stuff in IMAX. I want to see it, that film, because I'm a purist. Look behind me, 16mm. All right, for more reviews and interviews, just surf on over to my website at vegasfilmcritic.com. And also, if you like what you see, which you do, I know, I just feel it, make sure you share, comment below, and thumbs up. I'm Jeffrey Gay Howard. May the Force be with you.